Hi, in this video we will be talking about how you can incorporate detailings in your drawing. When you draw something, don't try to just do it just for the sake of it. Don't just do it only the outlines and few characters that you actually imagine, but try to be more experimenting, try to express, try to explore and give more expressions and rather ingredients, so that the artwork becomes a little more expressive and interesting and more meaningful. So you have to understand that how to add up those things. So generally there are certain household products they ask you to draw. For example, a pressure cooker or a stand fan, okay, or just a chair. So how would you like to design all these things? You have to remember the material. What are the materials to be used for making all these things? So material is packed, the textures should be applied one way. The color of the texture, whatever color is important, you do that. Then the components, the parts which are very essential, the fitments, you need to assemble those fitments in order so that it doesn't look just drawn product. It should look like a product which is mechanically thought, which is which can be engineered, which can be developed. So the tidbits and parts must be associated and clamped in such a way, such an organized way, so that the artisan can manage to understand the designer's work, so as to develop it. So be specific and much more detailed when you're making it. Say for example, let me make a simple chair, okay, so that you can understand if I need to develop a chair, how would the chair be? Let's see. There has to be some creative idea, some theme behind the inspiration, behind making the chair. I'm not going to go too much into making how the theme works, because we'll talk about theme in later videos. But now, how to define details. If I want to make a chair, let me think about what kind of chair should I make. Should I make a glass chair? Because glass chair is not much, I haven't seen, and I don't know, maybe it's there. But transparent glass chair, hardy glass chair, not so brittle, gorilla glass chair, yeah, possible, I think, okay. Even if it topples, falls down, it shouldn't break. If gorilla glass is there, why not, okay. So let me think about how to make a glass chair. Transparent glass chair, or it could be a colored glass chair. It depends on the way you actually make the material out of it, okay. But let me see, I'm not using color anywhere here, but how to create the transparency, the illusion of transparency and the glass effect. Let me see, like, what kind of shape do I prefer to make. I want to make a chair which is like in this shape. Say this is the seat, this is the backrest. I hope you can understand that. And then I would like to make certain glass, rest, footrest. Okay. Shall I now make a thickness? I'll try to make the thickness of the material, the glass, the width, the material. So when I define this, and when I actually draw the back side, you can understand that this is the material which is to be understood here. Glass textures. Here the thickness of the other side should also show out through it. And then I need some kind of cage, some kind of holding structure, because otherwise maybe the glass will suddenly crack from somewhere, maybe possible. So I'll rather put a back steel ring which holds it. So this thing is solid, a tubular ring, and I need to render the steel part in such a way so that the difference of the material could be understood. So you can understand that there are two different materials. So what I'm trying to do is today go into a little bit of drawing instead of just creativity. So while doing creativity, the drawing is also to be understood, learned parallelly. And since you can understand that I'm working on this pen, it is difficult for me to give a very smooth shading, but you can develop that with the help of 4B, 2B, 6B pencils. So this is one material which is solid at the back, you can see, but at the top there is a kind of a material, again glass. I told you that I've rendered over here, and you can understand now that there is some material like glass which is holding. So here I have held this, and I want the legs of the chair. So let me design the legs of the chair, how the legs of the chair should be. Maybe from here I'll put two legs down, going at the back. I'm doing all these things just to suggest the transparency of the material. Here you can actually again see the transparency occurring. And the steel has this dark greyish and black, white shine effect that is still to be understood from the back. And then parallelly from this part, from the ring, I can again put down two more joints. Here I have to make sure that it is balancing at the base in a proper size so that it doesn't become imbalanced. So I'm actually taking care of from which angle to which angle and from which side and what length should the legs be. Be careful about that. When you are drawing, you have to be calculated enough in showing that rendering. So here again, some part of transparency is visible here. I hope you are getting that this is a transparent base and there is a steel or metal or definitely not plastic, I cannot tell you, that is there. Okay. So now here again I want to go a little bit further because that's not enough, because this is the shape, the geometry, the pattern, the creativity I am talking about. Now I want to do some detailings in terms of some decoration. It's there, required, I think, because most often if you know geometry, if you know drawing, you can't, you don't know decoration much, so there is one point still missing with your art form. So shading, shadow, rendering, texturing, coloring and detail is also required. So detailing means a little bit of some dramatization over here. Say for example, I would like to create a few a small hollow area over here. As you can see this hollow area here. Maybe you can lift the chair by that particular empty space, that groove which I have created, the hollow area. You can lift and pull it and put it side by side. So maybe that is one thing you can do. You can also think about creating some maybe at this position. Since it is glass, maybe it feels hard enough to set. I can put a small cushion kind of thing. It's glass, you see, but then again I'm thinking about what else could be done with it. So if I put this kind of cushion in between for a comfort seating, okay. As you still can see that we need to, or we wish to, if we know what are the things we can create over here. Most significantly, like some of the things which are missing, which is necessary, maybe we can add up those things. For example, why don't we create a tray at the bottom underneath the chair, so we can design that thing. So I'm still trying to catch up with some more ideas that how certain functional or valuable structures could be created over here, which are necessary for developing this kind of design pattern. Maybe that is also a glass shell. As you can see, I've created glass shell which is see-through. It's transparent because you can see the back side of the leg of the chair, and it is clamped by some kind of metallic piece. Okay, so you can draw these clamps if possible. Certain areas, if you think that the mechanism is too intricate, you can actually increase the size. Say for example this one, if you want, you can increase the size like this and say how it is clamped. Alright, so maybe the glass piece, you can draw the glass over here, and you can make a small hole over here. You can, through the hole, you can pass a pin, and through the pin you can attach a clamp, and on the clamp you can put the leg of the chair. So you can see that I have tried to show exactly how the chair attachment of the glass shell should be here. So it actually shows your profound interest in design, your intricacies, your that nitty-gritty of those structures and styling which you have studied hard enough, which will actually make you a good designer. Whether you are a product designer, graphic designer, or any kind of design industry you are looking into, okay, you can think about. So like that, use as much as varieties. Oh, why don't we do some printed graphics on the glass? Maybe we can design some printed graphics. So on the same glass, maybe we can design some prints. Just very simple floral prints I am doing, or maybe we can do some big size flowers, some irregular ones. Okay, that's all. Maybe this graphic. So would you like to use the floral patterns, geometrical patterns, abstract art? That is totally up to your idea. But then you will also say that I have used laser etched, CEED, etched floral graphics, prints, whatsoever you wish to. You see how many things there are possibilities. The etching is possible. You can do some printing, you can do some painting. But then this is what is very essential for a designer to ideate, imagine when you are creating a product or you are designing, actually especially for competition. In classroom, we actually talk about and explore about a lot of more varieties of things. But then, in nutshell, I can actually provide you with this much. Okay, and this is actually too long to actually make you understand. But then, this is very small, very marginal. The shapes, as you can see, the artwork, as you can see, because I'm just doing casually freehand. There are a lot of distortions. This distortion shouldn't be. You must do very fine line, erase it, make it neat. Proportionately, the sizes must be properly in diagrammatic form. It should look like properly scaled. Okay, measure it. Don't go out of, don't deviate from geometry. That is very essential. So your artwork should go hands in gloves with the geometrical part of it, the mechanical, the engineering, the sizing, everything. Even the how much thickness of the glass you want, what mm of circumference do you want the rod of this steel should be. If you know and if you provide this information, the examiner actually judges on this basis and you actually score more marks. Okay, so be careful about doing all these things, study hard, explore, okay, and I think you can rock. Okay, so best of luck.